Cancer, hi, welcome to my channel. So today we have a reading for you. No particular subject, we're going to do my version of a Celtic cross. At the end there will be an opportunity for an extended where we'll dive in deeper. You can watch this for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, Mercury, North Node or Vertex, or if any of those planets are currently transiting your 4th house, this could be for you. You know the drill. Thank you however you support the channel, it's very much appreciated. Cross watchers, you are more than welcome. Message may well be for you. All information is in the description box below. Just hit the more button. Okay, Cancer. I'm undecided as to what the song that was coming through in your pre-shuffle was "Wake Me Up When September Ends," and obviously we've just stepped into September. So whether this is September a difficult month for you, or whether it's going to be a difficult month, or whether you just know something amazing is coming up in October. I don't know, it could go several ways, but that was the main theme of the energies. Wake me up when September ends. Interesting. Let's do, could be just tired, want to go to bed for a month, who knows. One more. What's going on, Cancer? We have the moon. Okay, mystery, intuition. You guys are ruled by the moon, so you're very closely tied in with it. It could just be wake me up when September ends because of your affinity with the moon. We've got the eclipses all this month. It could just be the energy. You're just like, oh, for crying out loud, not again. And wanting to, I don't know, skip this part. So the eclipses are happening in, the full moon eclipse is happening in Pisces, your 9th house, and your the new moon is a double new moon. So we've already had the new moon in your 3rd house, we've got another one in the 3rd house as well. So the 9th house is it's where the North Node is currently, so it's going to be pushing you in directions of maybe spiritual growth, maybe new education, higher education, further education, the gurus. It's the house of law, so there could be a lot of dealings in that aspect. Law doesn't have to be anything terrible, it could just be things contractual, possibly. Okay, what's crossing you? Too many clouds. Okay. Ooh, I'm seeing the Knight of Swords. Why am I seeing the Knight of Swords? Root of the matter. Recent past. What you want. What's coming in. Okay. Okay, how you see yourself, how others see you. Advice. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. I'm going to be looking for this, in fact I'm going to look for the 6 of Cups, that'd be even better. And potential outcome. Okay. You could just be very sensitive at the moment and you feel something bubbling under the surface, but everything, there's a lot of confusion. Your intuition's going to kick in the end and you're going to be right about something, but there's this in the meantime, pardon me, there's a lot going on. We've got the 4 of Wands at the bottom of the deck here. 4 of Wands is marriage, it's the Venus in Aries, the Empress meets the Emperor. 2 of Swords, strength. 8 of Wands, 2 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Justice and the Magician. Okay, I want to look for the Knight of Swords because I saw it clearly with the Moon and the Ace of Swords. And I also want to see where the Six of Cups is and the Sun. I'm going to look for that. Okay, so we've got the Moon. Crossing you is the Ace of Swords. Now, the crossing position of the Ace of Swords is, it could be lies, could be, well, your final card, I'll jump right ahead, is the High Priestess. High Priestess and the Moon and the Ace of Swords in its shadow aspect. It can be secrets, it could be getting caught in strange dynamics that you've been brought up with. Don't tell your mum, don't tell your dad, don't tell your sister, don't tell your brother, that type of thing. And it's put you maybe where it's difficult to express or difficult to communicate, or you find it a struggle to communicate. Root of the matter is the Ace of Cups. The root of the matter is, whatever this is ultimately it opens up your heart even further. In timing for tarot, cups and months, so it's literally, the root of the matter is the month September. Wake me up when September ends. Now, what's kind of got me, I don't want to say concerned too much, because I genuinely, even as my role, I genuinely haven't lived through a current transit. In fact, most of us won't, unless you were alive late 30s into the 40s. There's a big emphasis here of Pluto out of bounds. Recent past is the Seven of Pentacles. This is you toiling away in your world, especially because you see yourself as the Knight of Pentacles. So you've been working hard on whatever it is that you're trying to achieve in your life. It could be anything. What you want is death. You want some sort of change, but there's Pluto. So Pluto has just gone out of bounds. Now, when a planet's out of bounds, which happens very regularly for like the Moon and like Mercury and Venus, most people will be born with with planets in out of bounds. They're out of the vicinity of the sun. There's like a cap. It's like 23. It's less than 23 and a half. So is it 23.2, 23.3, something like that. 23.27 degrees away from this kind of what the sun can do and what the sun can see. There is a phrase for it. I just can't off the top of my head remember it. And it's basically Pluto isn't governed by the sun, if we look at it that way. So there's no rules. Last time was 1938 to 53, and obviously the peak of that was 44, 45, 46. Obviously we all know what was happening then in the world. But there's a big emphasis here of change and something out of bounds. And then when we look at your advice, I'm jumping ahead, is the star card. The star card is Aquarius, which is where Pluto is. So we've got Pluto in Aquarius here. Aquarius rules your 8th house: death, sex, taxes, inheritances, shared resources, intimacy, the occult, deep astrological knowledge, really diving deep into something here. And there's no rules. So it's out of bounds. It's going to be out of bounds once a year for the next 10 years, and then not again for roughly this, 60 years, 60, 70 years. So this period started about 2 or 3 days ago up until I think November. There's no rules. Pluto has absolutely zero rules, and it's in your 8th house. So there's a lot of change. This could be a month of just, I don't know what the hell's going on. And you're just being asked to flow with compassion. Like I say, how you see yourself is the Knight of Pentacles. Arduous tasks in life, working away, whatever life is bringing to you. Like I said in previous readings, gardening is not easy. And this character's gardening here, trying to reach the goal of whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. How others see you is the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is your card. So people see you as in your power, very intuitive, very compassionate. Her shadows are that of the Gemini energy. It's 2 parts Cancer, 1 part shadow Gemini. Gemini is that energy of gossips and secrecies and things like that, in terms of, like I spoke earlier, you might be getting caught in these little weird dynamics of you guys rule the family home or the mother. So there could be some sort of dynamics at play there. It's also Pahalaya as well. Oh, I'm jumping. I've missed this one. What's coming in is the devil. Now, the devil is your 7th house. It's Capricorn energy. So it feels like there's something in terms of a shake-up. The devil is appearing. What that means, it could just be there's a focus on your 7th house. It could be temptation in some format. The other aspect I'm kind of seeing here, because I'm seeing this as Pahalaya. Pahalaya is the angel of, in fact, is her demon the 4 of Wands. Person, it isn't her. Let me get me books. So number 20 is Pahalaya, and she's the Queen of Cups, and she's one of your cards. Soul Guardian for those born 620 to 640. Moral Guardian for those born 8th of April, 19th of June, 30th of August, 10th of November or 21st of January. Physical Guardian for those born 23rd to the 27th of June. So there you go, there's your first deacon, which is the 2 of Cups normally, but here we are with the Queen of Cups. The equivalent, number 20, I'm sure, is the 4 of Wands. Yes, person. Okay, so the devil is representing the shadow aspect of Pahalaya. Bear with me. Pahalaya 20. So, with love I can create life, the angel of deliverance and transcendence of sexuality. It helps awaken Kundalini, vital energy, and helps us re-educate our instinctual needs. It helps us to experience sexuality in the fidelity of the couple and to transcend excesses, lacks, or problems related to sexuality. Again, Death card, Pluto, is sexuality in all aspects. Okay, so the shadows. Abuse of power, fanaticism, extreme violence, hopefully that's not that. Fear, struggle, difficult destiny, rigidity, problems with sexuality and or rejection of sex life, infidelity, temporary affairs, debauchery, sexual abuse and waste, prostitution, despondency, discouragement, fears, illness, does not believe in a higher power, transgresses divine laws, search for material possessions, religious to the letter, seeks to convert, neglects basic needs, extreme asceticism, rejects the needs of the physical body and sexuality because does not sufficiently understand that these can be experienced positively, justly, and healthily. Situations, fanaticism, impose, respect for laws, lumber, luxury, order, sexuality. Okay. So like I said, there's an odd dynamic that's going off there. Your advice is the Star card, and advice is hopes, dreams, and wishes. It's continue this process of knowing that change is good, change is needed. This could be recognizing, where just something doesn't speak your truth anymore. It could be changing your mind about something. It could be something as simple as that. Who knows? The outcome is the World, the Knight of Wands, and the High Priestess. So you're just being asked to just trust your intuition and go where you're meant to go. Now, when I say that, it doesn't have to be physical travel. It could be Knight of Wands and the World's definitely travel. And we've got the eclipses in your 9th as well as your 3rd. So there is this big emphasis here of just trust, absolute trust. The High Priestess is just like, I rule you because I'm the moon. So if I'm whispering to you, I'm whispering to you correctly. But I genuinely feel like this month is about change. It's about ending things. The world's ending. World and the devil is really ending a very difficult stage. Devil and the High Priestess is the moon in Capricorn. Moon in Capricorn in the moonology is a tough. was it a tough cycle is the end of a tough cycle approaches, and your hard work is paying off. So there's a lot of good stuff that's coming here. I just feel like there's a lot of confusion, and I think there's a lot of change. I think it's unexpected change. I think there's stuff that you're not expecting one bit. So I want to see where the Six of Cups is, because that's the Sun meets the Death card. So this is the Sun out of bounds with Pluto, and the Knight of Swords. It makes sense because the Knight of Swords in this deck he's charging with the Ace of Swords, but he's running towards clouds, and it feels like a confusing message, really. Well, you guys look good, to be honest. The Chariot is with the Two of Cups and the Emperor. So, I mean, you've got like, in the deck that I'm using in the extended, here we have Odin, which is the Emperor. The Chariot in the other deck is Freya. So Odin and Freya, you've got the Norse gods with you, and there's kind of, we could call it Odin and Freya, Frigg, whoever. There's arguments that they're the same person, there's arguments that they're different people. But this is a powerful surrounding energy, you know. Even if you don't connect with the Norse, you don't have to connect with the Norse, it's just my lineage. You can, connect with your own, even if it's just source. You're protected, there's a lot of protection around. Yeah, the Knight of Cups is with the Three of Wands and the Ten of Cups. So there could be a lot of, I don't know, things up in the air. I mean, this kid's been thrown up in the air, and it could just be that. Something just feels up in the air at the moment. For some of you, it might be discussing having children, who knows. But it just feels like something's up in the air. And the Six of Cups is with the Tower, the Three of Swords, and the Sun. I told you, there's some significant change with this Pluto in Tower, and the Sun is whatever's necessary to bring you the Sun. The Three of Swords could be, like I say, it could be a difficult month, I'm not going to lie. But the outcome of it will be that success. I mean, the final card's the Queen of Wands. She's two parts Aries, one part Shadow Pisces, but she's confident, she's fire. She's going to breathe the breath of fresh air. You know, you're represented by the Queen of Cups, and again, don't get caught up in genders, but we have to embody all the elements if we want to be solid and complete, which is very interesting. Okay, so September is gonna be eventful. It's going to be different for all of you. It's going to be an interesting one. That's what I'll say. All right. So in your extended, what should we do? I want to see what this devil's about. We'll take the energy of the devil, what we know, what we don't know, recent past advice and potential outcome. If you can join me, fantastic. If not, let me know if it resonates. We have, or you might have to come back at the end of September and tell me. We have Cancer, Pisces, we have Saturn in Taurus, we have Scorpio, Capricorn, Aquarius, Capricorn, Cancer, Pisces, Venus in Aries, Moon in Libra, Leo, Mercury in Sagittarius, Jupiter in Capricorn, Mercury in Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, Virgo, Moon in Aquarius and Mercury in Cancer. We have Pentacles, we have Swords, we have Cups, we have Wands. Everyone's here. Those are the standouts. Let me know. Take care. See you soon. Bye.